Hi, I'm Beth, and today's video is one of my favorite ones to make. I'm going over my goals for the month of September. I'm also going to show you my budget for the first week in September and also announce the winner to my giveaway. So let's just jump right in with the mental challenge. In 2004, a man named Thomas Zeke ran as a write-in candidate for president. He ran on the platform of ending the tyranny in alphabetical ordering. He was really upset with the fact that his last name started with Z, and that forced him to be last in line in school, last at the DMV, and other issues that he felt was related to his last name starting with Z. So his voters were not impressed, and of course we do not have Mr. Zeke for president. But it turns out he was onto something. Studies have shown that if your last name, and ladies, if you are married, this goes for your maiden name, they have a last name that starts with R through Z, so the latter half of the alphabet, they are more prone to feelings of scarcity. They do relate this going back to school, having to wait in line, or, if you're having to wait in line, like I said, at the DMV, things like that. But the way this relates to finances is studies also show that these people with the last names R through Z are more prone to fall to the tactics in sales of a limited time offer or only 3 items left. Not only do they fall for those more and buy those more, they also do it quicker than people who have a last name that starts with like A or B or things like that. So, the challenge is to think, do you know anybody or yourself that struggles with this? Or if you have a last name in the first part of the alphabet, is it something that you don't understand when you see people falling for it with the last name of an R or S or T? The ways we can look at this is if we do have that trigger, we can kind of maybe slow down and think about it. And also just see if it applies to anyone we know in our life and what we can do to kind of work with it. So that's the challenge to think about if we are prone to that type of scarcity thinking. Our physical challenge is going to kind of go with scarcity a little bit, but it's also going to be talking about food scarcity. In Vermont, just last month, they decided to ban all garbage that was food related to be thrown away. This not only counts for things like thrown away leftovers, but also counts for eggshells, potato peels, even the pits or seeds from fruit. They are illegal. It is illegal to throw them away in the garbage in the state of Vermont. They did this because the garbage system is being just overran, and they really needed to reduce the amount of garbage they were taking in. So it is predicted that every year, 30 to 40% of your food bill will be thrown away. So when you go to the store after work and you're tired and you're looking at all these groceries you're having to buy, just think that 30 to 40% of the food you're throwing away is going straight in the garbage. When you're paying $100 for that food, 30 to 40% of it's going, to be tossed out. Even when you're at home and you're cooking these good meals, you're still losing money there. So this is something that I struggle with a lot. I do have food waste in my life. I try to prevent it, but it is extremely hard. So our challenge this week is to try to see if we can even just lower it to 20% of food waste. The ways I'm going to do that is, one, I'm going to go to the store more frequently. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I think that food scarcity comes into play when we go to the store just once a month. When I go to the store once a month, I'm thinking, I need this, and I need this, and I need this, and I buy all these things. If I go to the store once or twice a week, I know I'm only buying for a couple days. So if I'm going to the store twice a week, then I'm only going to buy 3 apples because I know I'll be going to the store again before I need to get more apples. Also what I'm going to do is whenever I cook food, I'm going to write it on the fridge, the meal that it is, because I do have a tendency to lose leftovers. So I'll put the food in the fridge, but on the fridge I will write on my little whiteboard, I'll write the name of it so that we know just by looking what meals we have in there in case they get pushed to the back. Another thing I heard that another YouTuber does, and I cannot remember their name, is they have one shelf in their fridge dedicated specifically for items that are going to go bad quickly or they're at risk of losing soon. So that's where their leftovers will go. They're on day 2 and things like that. But food loss is something that happens to all of us, I think. I know a lot of people throw away the 2 heels in the loaf of bread. You know, when you have that bunch of celery, those weird pieces in the middle that nobody really uses. So we all have food waste, but if we could start reducing it a little, you know, that'll help out our food bill, and hopefully it won't come to every state, you know, like it is in Vermont, because that will be really challenging for everybody. But that is the physical challenge, is to just look at your food waste and see if there's any way you can reduce it, and see if you can save some money that way by reducing food costs. So now I'm going to draw the winner for the giveaway. I really was getting antsy to do this. I said I wasn't going to do it until another couple weeks, but honestly, when I hit 200 subscribers, I'm going to do another one, and I'm kind of close, so I'm hoping I can hurry and do that, because I have a couple of wallet patterns that I'm working on that I really want to show you guys and give one of those away. So I'm doing this old school with just a bag and the names in here. I'm not doing anything fancy. So I'm going to just pick a name out here, and then what I'll ask for you to do, if you're the winner, just comment below how you want me to contact you. If you want me to contact you on Instagram, I have my Instagram account in my bio, so you can just message me there, or I can leave my email in the bio and you can email me. However you want to do it, just so I can mail this out to you. And I may ask you a question like, what's your favorite color or something, and just to make sure I get something you'll like and everything. But anyway, I'm just going to pick one out of here, and hopefully I can read it. And I really do thank everyone for entering this. Okay, can you guys, probably can't see that, but it is, and I hope I say this right, Milligros Money Wise Financial. So that is the winner. Can you see that at all? Okay, and so if you will contact me just by making a comment down here and giving me other contact information, because I know you wouldn't want to leave your mailing address probably as a comment here, and just so we can keep in touch and get that all worked out. So congratulations and thank you, and please be watching. Hopefully in 2 weeks I'll probably hit 200 subscribers and I can give away a wallet. So excited about that. Okay, let's go to my favorite part, and let's go to my goals for the month of September. Okay, I'm just going to go over my August goals real quick, just so you can see what I had and which ones I did and didn't meet. So my word for this month was dedicated, and I definitely had that word down this month. I fully funded these sinking funds. I was only supposed to get this Discover card under $1,000. I paid it off, and actually paid off my next credit card after that in my snowball method, which was my Capital One card. So it is gone too. I added 6 items to my Etsy store. The only goal I didn't meet was this grocery goal, and I was only about $40 over, and I'm actually still okay with that. So I did great with these goals. I loved my word for this month, and it really did help me to stay focused on these goals. But I paid off over $7,500 worth of debt in the month of August. Did not expect that. Huge. That is more than we make in a month. I'm going to tell you though, I was so dedicated that I only took about 3 days off between my side hustle and my regular full-time job. So that was great. I'm really glad I had this really strong month. I got 3 credit cards out of the way, and it really has me feeling a lot better about my debt situation. But for the month of September, I'm changing things up a little bit. I'm going with my word of the month as intentional. I like this word because I am going to be intentional with my money, but I'm not going to be as obsessed, or maybe as like I have to do this, this, and this. I'm going to try to make my money work a little bit more for me. So here are my goals for the month of September, and my word, intentional, focused. So goal number 1 is going to put $1,000 to my husband's Capital One card. My why is because interest is stupid, and I'm tired of it stealing from me. I'm tired of paying that interest. I'm going to show you this goal because this is my new focus goal. So we're just going to take just a minute and look right here. This Capital One is in my husband's name. It was $8,951 in November of last year. That month, I paid $205 just to interest. My minimum payment was just under $300. Currently today, this is the payoff amount, $77.56. I did get my interest lowered to 20.9, which is still ridiculous. I still pay $142 every month. That interest accrues on the 24th, but it's at least a little bit better than that. So I'm going to show you my goals for this credit card. In September, I want to pay $1,000 on this credit card. That means my ending balance will be $67.56 by the end of September. October, another $1,000. Then to November, December, go all the way down, and I hope to have this credit card paid off by April of 2021. Now, if I get extra money, of course, I'm going to put to this debt, like if we get a stimulus or something like that. But this is, by April, I am making it known to the universe that this credit card will be gone. This is a credit card that we have carried for years and years. When I looked back in November and the previous months, the charges on this credit card were all things like Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, things like that. It was nothing even that we had the benefit of, like, oh, this was a great memory. None of those, eating out experiences do I remember, and I'm still paying this much every month for it. So I'm so ready for this one to be gone. So this is my focus debt, and it's also my number one goal to pay $1,000 to that credit card. My action steps is, I'm going to say, budget focused. That means I'm going to just watch my budget. I'm going to make sure that everything is in line with my budget. No impulse buys or anything like that. Going along with my intentional, I want to bring in more money with my Etsy shop so that I'm working smarter and not harder. I want to stay home with my family and be able to sew to make money instead of being gone 60 or 70 hours a week. So that is an action step that's going to hopefully get me to paying this $1,000 to my Capital One. And also, any purchases I make, I'm going to question them. Specifically, I'm going to look at my grocery budget. And so I'm going back to my $800 a month, but I'm going to question each purchase and see, can I get this cheaper? Can I make it cheaper? Can I find it on Amazon Subscribe and Save it cheaper than I can at my local Kroger store? So I'm going to do these things to make sure I can get to this $1,000 payment to Capital One by the end of September. My second goal is going right along with this one, is to upload 8 Etsy items. Why I want to do that is because I want to make money in a way that aligns with my heart. Sewing is my passion. I love it, and I just really enjoy it, and I really want this to eventually work out for me. So the way I'm going to try to meet that goal is I'm going to plan ahead every day. I'm going to make sure that I have the pattern I want to sew and the materials ready and things like that. I'm going to try to give myself 1 hour every day to work on sewing, or even just getting the materials ready to sew. And the last one, I know a lot of people can relate to this, I'm going to try to let go. The house isn't going to be perfect. The laundry's not all going to be, folded and hung up properly. I'm going to try to relax just for this month to see if I can make some headway in my Etsy shop by letting go a couple of things. So my other goal that's building on all these others, they're all building on each other, is goal number 3 is 4 crock pot meals each week. This will help me save money so I can put more money to my Capital One, and also it'll free up time so I have more time to sew the items I want to put in my Etsy shop. So my why is to be able to focus more on my Etsy shop but still save money. My action steps are going to be to go through my crockpot cookbooks and pick out some recipes I like. I'm going to make sure that I'm prepping the night before if I need to. And my third step is I'm going to be able to delegate. So my kids are both adults, so I can tell them, hey, turn the crock pot off if I'm not home in time, or, go ahead and add this ingredient to the crock pot if one needs to be added in later. I also have a separate tracker for this. I'm going to show you that real quick. This is how I'm going to track my crock pot goals a little. You can see right here, it says week 1, my goal is 4 crock pot meals. So I've already wrote down the 4 meals I'm going to use this first week coming up. Buffalo chicken dip, I put the day I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that on Wednesday. I put my ingredients, and I also put down that I need no prep the night before. This is just a dump in the crock pot meal, no prep. My next meal is going to be on Thursday. I have pork loin and potatoes. I have the ingredients. Again, no prep. I'm going to have these 2 recipes later, but I haven't wrote all the, the steps down yet, the ingredients, and if I need prep. But I'll do this for every week so that I can kind of track things and keep myself organized. Also, I'm going to highlight the recipe in green. This box, is what I'm saying. In green if I'm going to do it again, or in pink if we didn't like it and it's not a recipe I'll ever continue. So this is the way I'm going to track and help myself meet that goal for the 4 crock pot meals every week. So going back here, my last goal, I changed this one the last minute. I first had said I'm going to do side hustles to get an extra $100 a week. But I thought that's not in line with my word of the month. My word of the month is intentional. So I just need to be intent on finding an extra $100 a week. This may come from side hustling. This may come from selling items that I don't need around the house. It could come from lowering some of my bills, or even using cheaper meals. Instead of using my $200 grocery budget, I may use $150. So my steps to do this is I need to find $14 every day. I can sell things I don't use if I'm not getting that $14, and I can also promote my Etsy shop and hopefully get a sale from that this month. These goals all build on each other and help support. These are my 2 top goals, and so I'm using these as kind of just to make sure I meet those. This worksheet is in or on my Etsy shop. I do mainly sewing items on my Etsy shop, but this is one worksheet that I do have on there just because I love it. I love goals, and I do love to track them. So every week I'll kind of give you an update on how I'm doing with my September goals and if I'm really living an intentional month this time. So now I'm going to go in and show you really quick my September budget, the first week of my September budget. Okay, the first thing I do is I start out with my budget with my monthly spread. So you can see right here, I'm starting on Monday the 31st, and you can see it's highlighted in blue. So every bill that I'm paying with this check is going to be highlighted in that same color. So then I go over to my breakdown. Oops, let me find it. I had it marked and I took my marker out. Almost there. So my income is $1,600. As you know, my husband and I are both self-employed. So we pay ourselves. So our business gets money, and then we pay ourselves from the business. So this is the money that we pay ourselves from the business. So our fixed expenses, I have Disney Plus for $6. AEP is my electric, and yes, that is $265. Ridiculous. My car payment is $401. So my fixed expenses come to $793. When I subtract that from my income, I'm left with $807. My variable expenses for this week, my husband and I get $100 each for allowance, so $200 for the month of September. So that comes out of this check. Groceries, like I said, I'm going back to $200. Gas, $50. So my variable expenses for this week is $450. Subtract that from the amount left, we get $357. On my next video, I'm going to go over my sinking funds, but I'm not in this one. But this, starting September, is the first time I'm going to be doing this high of amount of sinking funds every week. I may change this, but right now I'm going to try it. So every week you're going to see me put $335 into my sinking funds. Next week in my video, I will explain what that money is going to go to and show you how I'm tracking that. So whenever I subtract that from my sinking funds, I get left over $22, which is I'm just going to leave as a cushion. So you can see right now there is no debt payment scheduled and really no room for debt payment scheduled. So what I'll either do is I'll try to find some extra money like in my grocery budget with a side hustle, or I kind of know next week's going to be better and I can actually make up the amount I'm missing this week, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll actually be able to put close to $500 towards my credit card on my next week's paycheck. So if I can find some extra money, that's great, but I'm not going to stress because like I said, my word for September is intentional. So I'm being intent with this money and I know it will work out. So this is my first week budget for September. I know this was a longer video than usual, and I thank you for taking the time out and sticking with it and for listening to my goals and everyone's support. I hope you guys are excited about the month of September. I would love to hear your goals if you want to post them below, or even better yet, make a video and make sure that you let me know you're making one so I can watch your video and be excited and help cheer you on for your goals and your wins too, and that we can all move forward together and being successful in our finances. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in.